Come on, let's make it snappy, sing and laugh and be free. It's my country, 'tis a deed, so sing. Forget your troubles, cares, we'll be just like bubbles, sing, America, sing. I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, a Yankee Doodle-doo or die, a real live nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart, she's my Yankee Doodle joy. Yankee Doodle came to London just to ride the pony, I am a Yankee Doodle boy. There's a sword that hangs in the parlor, 'neath a copy of Longfellow's poem. There's an old uniform that has weathered the storm in my old American home. And the gun that stands in the attic doesn't glisten or glitter like chrome, but it fought in those fights that defended the rights of my old American home. Those were the days they loved American flag, American pride, American. Those were the days they lived American died, American too. And the flag that waved from the window has stood by us on land and on foam. We will always be true to the red, white, and blue in my old American home. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true under red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. But should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true under red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or flag. But should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. He's my uncle, I'm his nephew, I'm as proud as I can be, and my sisters and my brothers and my cousins by the dozen share that pride with me. For my uncle, and there's no one, and there's no one he provokes, and my sisters and my brothers and my cousins by the dozen, we're his kind of folks. That's why old chap never picks a scrap, but he's won all he's had. And through the icy solid cold, any big bully that gets in that, he's my uncle, I'm his nephew. And mighty proud I am, and my sisters and my brothers and my cousins by the dozen, we're proud of Uncle Sam. He's my uncle, I'm his nephew, we're as close as ABC. And my sisters and my brothers and my cousins by the dozen, my whole family. For my uncle lies to no one, cries for no one's sympathy. And my sisters and my brothers and my cousins by the dozen ape him to a T. He never tries scaring little guys, nor brags of whom he'll trim. He's peaceful, yet he can't forget. No one was ever too tough for him. He's my uncle, I'm his and it's mighty proud I am. And my sisters and my brothers and my cousins by the dozen, we're proud of Uncle Sam. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for and the waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruit and plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriot dreams that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Millie! Millie!
I want to read what it says. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal,
Millie!
that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What's that mean, unalienable?
What? Oh, it means that nobody can take it away.
Take what away?
Oh, Rights, you know. Rights.
Oh, yeah, like in the Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
Let's go see it.
See what?
The Bill of Rights.
What's there to see? There's nothing to see. It's just a piece of paper.
Piece of paper. Do you know what it says?
What do you mean, do I know what it says? It says, rights. 407. Don't shoot till you see the whites of their...
How do you know it's there?
It's always there.
What would happen if the Bill of Rights disappeared?
What do you mean, disappear? How could it disappear? It's a document designed for the ages, backbone of the nation. 407, Tippecanoe and Tyler, too. Give me liberty or give me...
What if the Bill of Rights disappeared? Disappeared.
Hello, dear.
Hi.
Marv, what happened to the paper?
Hmm? Oh, I didn't notice. Somebody seems to have censored it a little.
Who?
I guess the people in charge of these things.
Are they allowed to do that?
No, sweetie, no, they're not.
Well, somebody ought to complain about it.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you?
Me? Well, you know, I'm kind of busy, and, well, anyhow, they left the crossword puzzle in.
Well, I think you ought
Listen, stop pestering me, will you, honey? Will you just stop pestering me?
Hey, look here. What's going on? What are they trying to do? This picture's been censored. What are they doing to the movie? What's this condemned business? Where do they get off telling me what I can see? This isn't what I came to see. Do you agree with what they're doing? They have no right to do this. Are you just going to stand
All
there
right,
and
buddy,
do
break
this
it
when
up.
you have the right
You
to see
heard
what
me.
you want?
Come on, break it up.
Come on, buddy, clam up. That's a boy, just clam up and keep moving.
He's got a right to speak, hasn't he?
Well, I guess, sure.
Well, why didn't you say so?
Well, because he was talking nonsense, and, I didn't agree with it.
Okay, let's go. Break it up. Members of this church can attend the approved church next week.
Hey, what's going on here? I never heard of it.
Come on, break it up.
Excuse me.
What are you, some kind of smart aleck?
I don't want any approved church, thank you. Just my plain old right. Marvin C. Marvin. What do you want to know for?
You'll find out.
Now listen! There. That'll show him. Hey, wait! Hey, okay, I'm coming. You don't have to bust in the... Hey! What do you think you're doing here? Hey! Listen, this is my house, private property. Get out of here! Nobody gave you permission to... Hey, cut that out! I mean, you're getting the floor kind of messed up. Hey, watch it!
Tell us, why did you do it when you didn't want it?
What? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Have you over an hour, Mr. Morgan?
What?
Now, why don't you make it easy on yourself and come clean?
Oh, what'd I do?
Look, Mac, you're in real trouble.
I know, but what did I do?
And we're trying to help you, right? Now, you can help us. Just checking.
What church do you go to?
Well, gee, that's kind of personal, you know.
How did you vote in the last election?
Listen, you can't ask me those kinds of questions.
We can't, huh?
No. Nope. It's not allowed. Constitution, Bill of Rights.
What's he talking about? Bill of what?
Rights.
Never heard of it.
How's it go?
In 1492, Columbus crossed the ocean blue. 407 years ago, our father, give me liberty, or Tippecanoe and Tyler too. I don't remember.
Come on, confess you did it.
Did what?
Come on, admit it.
We got a witness.
Witness? Witness that I did it? Who?
You.
Oh, no, not allowed. You can't force me to incriminate myself. What do you want me to say?
Order in the court.
How do you plead?
Guilty.
Who's that?
Prosecutor.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
I want a lawyer.
Denied.
Listen, I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. I'm innocent. I can prove it. I want to call witnesses.
Denied. Now then.
No, sir. I want a jury.
All the jury.
Call the jury.
Have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor. We find the accused.
How can you reach a verdict without hearing the...
We find the accused.
Proceed with the verdict.
We find the accused.
What about my rights?
Denied.
Daddy! Freedom of speech!
Freedom of speech!
Bill of Rights, Sixth Amendment!
Bill of Rights, Sixth Amendment.
The right to know charges!
The right to know the charges against me. The right to an impartial jury. The right to counsel. The right to call witnesses.
Come on, confess you did it.
We got a witness.
Who?
You.
Hey, not allowed. Bill of Rights, Fifth Amendment. No person shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. Bill of Rights, Fourth Amendment. Right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizure. First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Let it never be said that this great and glorious heritage of ours, this noble document handed down by our forefathers, whose cry was, "Give me liberty," or "Give me..."
Disappeared.
Come on! It's there.
I was trying to tell you.
Hey, look, us. we're part of it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to...
It's there as long as we believe in it, value it, and use it.
Right.
So you take a good look, young lady, and remember what it's all about.
Tippecanoe and Tyler, too?
No, honey. The right to a fair trial and an impartial jury. The right to know the charges against you and be defended by counsel. The right not to be forced to bear witness against yourself. The right to be secure in your person and house and possessions from unreasonable search and seizure. The right to assemble peaceably and petition the government for redress of grievances. The right to freedom of religion, freedom of the press, freedom of speech. The Bill of Rights, spelling out for every race and faith and creed the promise of the Constitution. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Why come ye hither, redcoats? Your mind what madness fills? In our valleys there is danger, and there's danger on our hills. Oh, hear ye not the singing of the bugle wild and free? And soon you'll know the ringing of the rifle from the tree. Oh, the rifles, in our hands they'll prove no to rifle.
Wake up! The British are coming! To arms! The regulars are marching! Wake up! Wake up!
How do you awaken a motley collection of colonists?
The British are coming!
How do you convince New England merchants, Virginia farmers, Philadelphia craftsmen to wake up, recognize their common grievances, and fight for their common rights? What do you say to stir 2 million of the king's subjects to a fight for freedom? What do you say, Mr. Sam Adams, lately the host of a certain tea party?
If I am to have a master, let me have a severe one. I shall then be constantly disposed to take the first fair opportunity of ridding myself of his tyranny.
The Boston Tea Party. Sam Adams replied to the tea tax. But what of a dozen other trade restrictions? These too have gone before Paul Revere and William Dawes to ride throughout the countryside and arouse the people of all classes. And now, with the dawn, the redcoats are marching. But what say you to this marching, men of New England? Where will you take your stand? On the bridge at Concord or on the village green at Lexington?
Stand your ground, men. Don't fire unless fired upon. But if they mean to have a war, let it begin here.
And here it does begin. With a shot, heard round the world. But heard nowhere with more enthusiasm than in certain capitals of Europe, where England's enemies unite. They wait to see if the uprising will blossom into a revolution, the revolution into a war, and the war into the defeat of an empire that is threatening to engulf the world. And in London, King George III...
The die is cast. The colonies must either triumph or submit.
But the die is not yet cast. For in Philadelphia, where the Second Continental Congress is meeting in Independence Hall, there are still those who are not aware that they have common cause with the Minutemen.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
But events will not wait upon the outcome of a debate. And with a heroic resistance of Bunker Hill, the American intention gradually takes shape. And a war which has been confined to a single city and its neighboring towns now spreads out across the New England hills to a wilderness stronghold, Fort Ticonderoga. The British garrison sleeps, confident in its possession of this key to the Hudson River Valley. But a certain daring band of Vermont farmers do not sleep tonight. They call themselves the Green Mountain Boys. Their leader, Ethan Allen. And so forth men and guns fall to Ethan Allen and the Green Mountain Boys. This is the spirit the revolution wants. If only there were a general to weld these isolated, restless troops into a unified, disciplined army. A planter and one-time surveyor. A leader of men who knows a thing or two about the way the British go to war and has a plan.
To relieve the burden on New England by attacking the enemy on his home ground.
And so an expedition is outfitted, as well as the Second Continental Congress can do so, and sent toward the British stronghold in Canada. Meanwhile, from Dorchester Heights above Boston, the big guns of Ticonderoga now look down upon British troops. for Washington has besieged Lord Howe. To the British commander, it's an opportunity to escape. The entire British Army evacuates Boston, and New England is temporarily relieved. But victory is soon followed with defeat. Weakened by extreme cold and a long wilderness march, Arnold's forces arrive at Quebec and are thoroughly beaten by the well-fortified British. The news of hard defeat travels to Philadelphia and sharpens the issue. Whether or not the hour has come to break with the mother country. To some, like Tom Paine,
everything that is right or reasonable pleads for separation. 'Tis time to part.
June 1776. A man from Virginia rises in the Congress. All ears are intent.
Resolved that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British crown.
When, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary.
Now, with Thomas Jefferson's words, the die is cast. An independence is declared throughout the land. But to the inhabitants thereof, it looks as though liberty is going to be as short-lived as the term of a Connecticut militiaman, for the little American army is collapsing. Collapsing as the British drive Washington away from the Hudson River, defeating his troops at every encounter. Long Island, Brooklyn, Harlem Heights, White Plains, and driving them in exhaustion behind the Delaware River. Now every night finds more men gone and finds the general's spirits lower.
Many an uneasy hour, and all about me are wrapped in sleep. Few people know the predicament we're in, and few will know if any disaster happens to their lives, from what cause it flows.
Christmas 1776. But across the river in Trenton, the Hessians, mercenaries in the service of the British, celebrate the holiday. But if these drunken mercenaries could be surprised, the routing of the Hessians convinces the British to return to the mouth of the Hudson and refreshes Washington's army as it bivouacs for the winter. But the severe New Jersey winter is enough to make the memory of a single victory fade. For memory will not keep a man warm or give buying power to the worthless continentals with which he is paid. There is, of course, a paper the troops could read, a crisis paper, written by an Englishman whose loyalty is to the American cause.
These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country.
But the Green Mountain Boys are busy again, blocking the path of General John Burgoyne. Gentleman Johnny, more poet than soldier, who has set off down the Hudson River Valley in an attempt to join forces with Lord Howe and seal off New England from the other colonies. But Burgoyne has suddenly stopped in his tracks. By Nicholas Herkimer at Oriskany, by John Stark at Bennington, held to the Hudson River Valley by American guerrilla tactics. waiting for help from Lord Howe. But Lord Howe, evacuating New York by sea, has gone south for the winter.
Now let all New England turn out and crush Burgoyne.
And all New England does turn out, as 12,000 men under Horatio Gates surround Burgoyne at Saratoga, New York. Finally, the British general, his best troops picked off by Yankee snipers, surrenders his entire command. The threat to New England is now gone, but another threat is not so easily parried. For Washington has gone in pursuit of Howe and engaged upon a campaign that has cost him dearly in men, in supplies, and in the spirit to go on. Valley Forge, the winter of '77.
Einschweig, 1, 2, company.
The Baron von Steuben, a hard Prussian taskmaster for untrained Americans, has taken an interest in this strange revolution.
1, 2, 1, 2. Ach du Yankee Domko.
Others have taken an interest. The French consent to Benjamin Franklin's proposal for an alliance. But at Washington's Valley Forge headquarters, there is a new concern. A certain General Cornwallis has appeared off Charleston, South Carolina, calling forth the support of thousands still loyal to the King of England. But unorganized bands of backwoodsmen harass his army, delaying his attempt to roll up the colonies from the south, pursuing him all the way into Virginia. Meanwhile, Washington must protect the Hudson. But despite an important victory at Monmouth, New Jersey, he arrives at White Plains, New York, with little to hope for in the way of final victory. The French have not yet been heard from. But late in 1780, a highly placed courier, a young Frenchman who has caught the significance of what is going on in America, comes by night to Washington's headquarters.
The Marquis de Lafayette, to see General Washington.
The Marquis de Lafayette, with affairs of utmost importance to communicate to the general.
Une flotte de 40 vaisseaux et une armée de 6,000 hommes.
A fleet of 40 ships and an army of 6,000 men. Now, for the first time, George Washington, who has led a few thousand ragged men through 6 long years of war, will command an army. 1781. A large force of American and French troops heads southward. A strong French fleet is headed for Chesapeake Bay. Greene is up from the south. Lafayette is in Virginia. Von Steuben and Mad Anthony Wayne are standing by. Virginia. Everything points to Virginia and Cornwallis. A brief stop at a place General Washington calls home, then back to the march. The decision must come now or never. Cornwallis has moved out on a narrow peninsula. There's a chance he may get away by sea, but he fears that Yorktown is
a defensive post, which is forever liable to become a prey to a foreign enemy with a temporary superiority at sea.
The French, under Admiral de Grasse, now have that superiority at sea, and Cornwallis pleads for help.
If you cannot relieve me soon, you must be prepared to hear the worst.
Yorktown, October 19th, 1781. Cornwallis surrenders to Washington. And though the Treaty of Peace is to take 2 years to come, the colonists are all awake now, awake to their common responsibility, the responsibility of forging a nation. Not, it is hoped, an ordinary nation, but a broad place, a special place, a place where an idea can take refuge.
Freedom hath been hunted round the globe. Oh, receive the fugitive, and prepare in time an asylum for mankind,
born from a world of tyrants beside this western sea, will form a new dominion, a land of liberty.
So you saw a parade last week. Flags, snappy uniforms, and all that. And it kinda got you, huh? So right away you think, I gotta enlist. And all of a sudden you're filled with that, I gotta do my part feeling. Is that what happened, Howie? Is that it? Well, I know how you feel when you're in high school. But look, take a little advice from your older and considerably more mature brother. Yeah, I see you wince at that word advice. But I also remember a number of times when you did come to me for advice. So settle down and listen a little while to your big brother Bill. Wish I could talk to you instead of writing you this long letter from camp. But I think I can cover most of the things I want to say. Try to get the picture now, Howie. I've been in the Citizen Army for 7 months, doing my part, as you put it. And you think enlisting is the only way you can do your part. That's not quite so. There are a lot of ways you can do your part. And I don't mean enlisting before you're finished with school. No. Doing your part is a full-time job that you can work at right now. Fact is, you've been working at it all along. At home and at school. Know what that job is called? Good citizenship.
Good citizenship.
What was that you said, Howie?
Oh, I was just reading something here that Bill said in his letter, Mom.
Yes, what did he say in his letter?
Well, it's about service and citizenship. It's kind of a serious letter.
Oh.
Never thought I'd be writing to you about citizenship. But it's a big idea. Don't ever forget it. Let me put it this way. Why do you think I'm here, Howie? Me and thousands of other guys. Why do you think we're giving all we've got? Mentally and physically. Day after day. What's the idea behind all this sweat and toil? We're being trained to fight, if necessary, to defend our way of life. That's the answer. To defend our way of life. Well, it's as simple as that. And you know what that way of life is like. You've lived it. But what good is defending a way of life tomorrow if we forget to practice that way of life today? Get it? That's where the full-time job comes in. That's citizenship. That's where everyone can do his part all the time. Well, you're practicing good citizenship now. In your clubs and student associations, you're learning the responsibilities of self-government. You're getting first-hand experience with the democratic process. Elections, representation. In your other activities, you're learning about teamwork and obedience to rules. Another part of citizenship. The idea of different fellows working together toward a common goal. Come to think of it, you're getting the same training in citizenship that I got when I was in school. Only I didn't think of it that way at the time. I can still see the definition of citizenship our class worked out. Citizenship is the earning of rights by fulfilling responsibilities.
The earning of rights by fulfilling responsibilities.
What was that, Howie?
Oh, responsibilities, Mom, in Bill's letter. Let me finish it.
Oh, may I read it when you're finished?
Sure.
We learned what some of these responsibilities were from Mom and Dad. Remember the day you got a ride to school with Dad and had time to stop at the polls with him? You told me later how much you were impressed, seeing Dad and our neighbors there. Well, you said they seemed filled with a kind of pride. Know what that pride was, Howie? It was the pride of being good citizens. And remember that one evening, before I went into service, when you came home and...
Hello, anybody home? Hi, Bill.
Hello, Howie.
Hi, Mom. Still working on your PTA accounts?
Yes,
Books balance?
they will.
It takes a lot of time, doesn't it? Why do you do it?
Howie, this is my job. Maybe I'm not as skilled as I might be, but when I accepted the office of treasurer, I took on a responsibility. I have to meet it. It's my responsibility to the group.
Responsibility to the group. That's a big lesson right there, Howie. We got more of that lesson the night we talked with Dad about citizenship. It was right after I went into the service. My first 3-day pass.
We all learn those things one way or another. Well, I've learned it this way. You can't take things out of life without putting something in. But I don't have to tell you that. You know it. We've got a good life here, boys. The way we live, the privileges we enjoy. But these things aren't all free. We pay for them in one way or another.
Guess Bill's starting to pay now, huh, Dad?
Well, yes. Service is one kind of payment. Important, too. But it's only one of the responsibilities we have as good citizens. There are a lot of them.
Paying taxes?
Mm-hmm. Taxes, defense bonds. All part of earning the rights we enjoy.
And don't forget serving on the jury. You griped, but you went.
Sure, jury service. And don't forget Mother's PTA work and my job with the Better Community Group.
And your 3 years in the Navy in World War II.
That's right. We both saw 3 years of service.
Now, wait a minute. You weren't both in...
Well, Mom's right in a way, Howie. While I was in the Navy, she served right here, taking care of you and Bill, working at the USO, giving time to the Red Cross. All these things add up to service.
What did you learn from your Navy service, Dad?
Well, a lot of things, Bill. But I think the big lesson I learned was this. Service in the armed forces is the heaviest responsibility of citizenship. But I wasn't the only one who learned that. After all, I was just one of 15 million citizens who served in one way or another in World War II. Ordinary citizens, called on to do a job. And why not? Why were we fighting? To defend our kind of citizenship.
Dad was right, Howie. Service is a responsibility of citizenship, and it's just about the heaviest responsibility I've ever had so far. Funny thing. You know what helped me meet that responsibility? Practicing some of the very same ideas of citizenship that you're learning now. Working together as a team toward a common goal. Obeying the rules. Keeping informed, knowing what's going on around you. And accepting responsibility. Meeting your responsibility to the group. Well, I hope you understand what I've been writing. Well, it's pretty simple after all. My job is to meet the responsibilities of citizenship in the service. Your job is to meet the responsibilities of citizenship at home.
my job to meet the responsibilities of citizenship at home.
In a moment, you'll be discussing these films. As you do, we ask you to remember just two ideas. First, this is but one group in the series. And second, we ask you to consider how these films can help the boys in your school and in the schools you serve. Are they ready for service? Can this film series help them? As the dozens of leading educators and advisors who assisted with the films believe. Could they help you help this boy?
I don't want to go into service now. I'm not ready. What can I do?
One boy out of millions. And helping them can begin here, now, in your discussion.
mean, for the, for the station here. During Armed Forces Week, he started that, and one of the guys went up there and let his hat fall off in the middle of shooting something.
Big. We fill it up. Here's some stuff down here. There you go, Bill. Yeah. Oh. That's the TV. It's nice. Okay. Got to go.
came with me.
Hey, that's nice. I like that.
Hand foot. Hand foot. Hand foot. Foot up.
Tony old Bibbs over there.
All right. I might get on the TV camera here in a minute.
Get in the National Archives anyway.
Hi, Tucson.
Near the door, ready to
Move their support vehicles. Wave if you do. You don't.
No one was more surprised than Mr. Heineman when he heard the news. His young friend, Jim Foster, happened to be with him when he heard it. Jim was surprised, too. But here were the representatives of the committee with the news that Mr. Heineman had been chosen to preside over the town celebration of Citizenship Day. They had brought along an advance copy of the day's paper. In making their selection, the committee had followed a checklist, which was published in the paper. A good citizen will perform basic civic duties, take part in group activities, know and obey the law, keep informed on public affairs, be a good neighbor. When the committee left, Jim began to think about those qualifications, and as he went on to study more about citizenship and think back over the events of the past year, he came to understand what a good citizen really is. A good citizen will perform basic civic duties. What are they? You know one. Pay taxes. It's your duty to pay and know why you pay. You pay for federal courts of justice, state universities, municipal waterworks. You pay for thousands of other services which the voters have elected to receive. Before you complain about taxes, think how much it would cost if each of us had to buy these services separately. Ask yourself which of these benefits you'd care to sacrifice. Would you close the local light? Let the state highways go to ruin? Forget about national defense? There is a second basic civic duty. Your duty to serve on the jury goes with your right to trial by jury. It's also your opportunity to learn your own rights and privileges under law. Along with these basic duties comes the duty and privilege of voting, and voting intelligently. This meant a great deal to Jim.
When I'm old enough to vote, I'll use my ballot for all it's worth. I'll listen to the claims of all parties and all candidates. Then I'll try to get behind the vague promises and the alibis and get the facts so I can judge the real issues and the real candidates. And I'll be willing to get out and work for good candidates.
That brings us to our second point. A good citizen will take part in group activities. There are all sorts of groups. Associations to foster better government, welfare organizations, labor unions, religious groups, fraternal orders, men's clubs, women's clubs, political parties. When you work with any such group, you benefit, and the community benefits through combined effort for the common good. A good citizen will know and obey the law. That may sound easy, but, well, it's against the law to break a window, but Jim broke one. That's how he happened to meet Mr. Heineman.
You know, a piece of glass isn't very important. What matters is that it happened because you were breaking the law.
What law? We weren't doing anything wrong, honest.
It's against the law of this town to play ball in the street.
I didn't know it. Nobody ever told me about it.
Look, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Whether you break a law through ignorance, or carelessness, or wickedness, it's all law-breaking.
You make me sound like a criminal.
Sometimes it's hard to draw the line. Breaking a window pane, breaking into a bank vault, cheating in a school examination, forging a check, having a parking ticket fixed, bribing a jury. The only way to be sure where you stand is to get into the habit of obeying all the laws.
I don't think much of that law about not playing ball in the streets.
Nobody asked you. But wouldn't things be a mess if each of us decided which laws to obey and which to ignore?
Yes, I guess so. But there's no place else for us to play in the neighborhood.
What about the playground down the street?
Well, it's not very big, and it's always full of little kids, and they might get hurt. We've been playing on that big empty lot down at the corner of 12th and Grove, but somebody put up a no trespassing sign, and the cop chased us off. So, what are we going to do?
I don't know. Yet. You keep the fellows off the streets. I'll look into this. Come back Saturday morning. Maybe I'll have some news for you.
All right, I'll do that. Bye, Mr. Heineman.
Goodbye. Say, that's a neat job you're doing.
All the fellas chipped in to buy the glass.
That's good. But as I was saying, I had a talk with Mr. Carpenter, who owns that property where you fellows used to play ball. Trouble was, the neighbors were complaining that you ran all over their property, tearing up their lawns and breaking shrubs and flowers. Did you?
Well, yes, I guess so.
Well, I'm afraid they had every right to do as they did. call upon the law to protect their property.
There, how's that?
Very good. Say, you're quite the handyman.
But where does that leave us with a place to play?
I've been looking into that. Come on in. I've talked it over with some people, town officers, school officials, members of the park board. Look here. Here's the playground where the little kids play. Originally, the town owned all this property, which was to be made into a big playground.
What happened?
Oh, some shrewd operator moved in and bought the property. Because the citizens weren't alert to what was going on, he persuaded the town that it needed his money more than it needed land.
And now everything else is built up.
That's right. All but the Carpenter property.
And that's where they won't let us play.
No. But if the town were to buy the land and build a good high fence around it...
Yeah, sure. That ought to do it.
But the town doesn't have any money.
Thought it sounded too good.
You know, you're like a lot of other citizens in this town and everywhere. You haven't taken the trouble to inform yourself about how democratic government operates.
What's that got to do with it?
The way is wide open for citizens to get what they want from their government.
All we want is a place to play.
It's a good thing you want. Good for you and good for the community. So I think we can get it for you.
You can?
I said we can, if we're willing to work for it.
I'll work for it. What do I do? So we can have our playing field. See this petition? We have to get signatures so they can hold a referendum at the next town election.
Gee, that's great.
Therefore, be it resolved that this organization go on record as favoring the proposal to float a bond issue to provide a playground.
And for a few more pennies on your tax bill, your children will have a safe place to play. You will vote on our side, won't you, Mrs. Stein?
Why, yes, I will.
Well, what I don't understand is why you're going to all this trouble. You don't have any children. Why should you worry?
You might say that I want to get the kids off the street so that I don't have any broken windows. Or you might say that I'm just a busybody with nothing better to do than work for the good of our community. Either way, we're going to get that playing field.
Well, Jim and his friends got their playground. They got it mainly because Mr. Heineman knew how to go about it and went to work to help them get it. That's what it means to keep informed on public affairs and be a good neighbor. So it's really not surprising, after all, that Mr. Heineman was named first citizen of the town. He meets every test of good citizenship as outlined in the checklist. How about you? Are you a good citizen?
You see, Jim, citizenship carries with it many rights and many duties. The rights of the duties and are dependent upon them. Don't be a part-time citizen thinking only of your rights. If you neglect your duty, you may forfeit your right. Think it over.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us all sing our national anthem.
We're so glad.
It has started for the boys and girls of school. Everyone is, and that is, except Tommy. Tommy always has trouble getting to school on time. He's late more often than early. There's the school up ahead. No need to hurry. Can't make it on time anyway. But when Tommy does get to school, everything in Miss Hill's room stops until he settles down in his seat. Being late for school hurts Tommy all right. He misses part of the lesson. But what's worse, he hurts everyone in the room. They all miss part of the school day. Getting to school on time is part of being a good citizen. A good citizen is one who plays fair to others and does his part so that everyone can work and play happily together. Lee has been given the job, so he will be able to find his way. Being a big brother or big sister to someone who must learn new things quickly can be a lot of fun for you and a lot of help to the other fellow. Anne's sash is untied. Her friend Alice notices it and offers to tie it for her. This is a job Anne can't do very well for herself, and you can be sure she is thankful for Alice's help. There are many ways you too can do little things for other children at school if you just watch for the chance. Doing what you can to help others is an important part of being a good citizen. A part of nearly everything we do is getting ready to do it. To get ready for her spelling lesson, Susan makes sure she has the right book on her desk, plenty of paper for writing, and a pencil that has a good, sharp point. Lois didn't bother to think of these things ahead of time, and look at the trouble she is in the room now. Thinking about what you are going to do before you do it
means you won't have to disturb others, and it's another way to be a good citizen at school. Soon it will be recess time, and the children are anxious to go outdoors. Before they leave the room, Miss Hill asks them what games they would like to play. Johnny wants kickball, and Mary prefers tag. By raising their hands when their favorite game is called, the boys and girls are voting their choice. Outdoors, everyone is happy, because he knows that even though they may not be playing his favorite game, some other day they will play it, and then everyone will join together to make it more fun for him. Doing things together with others in your class is part of being a good citizen. Harvey is the happiest boy in school. He likes to visit with his friends and say hello to everybody he passes. The other children and the teachers too like Harvey, because being cheerful helps to make everyone feel better. Helping to make school time more fun is part of being a good citizen. Everybody in Miss Hill's room likes painting time, but it can be a messy job if you don't get ready for it. The children use old newspapers to keep their desks clean. They wear paint shirts or aprons to keep their clothes clean. Helping one another can be part of the fun too, for we all feel better when we are friends with other people. Kenny does his best to keep the paint where he wants it instead of on the floor, and by knowing ahead of time what he wants to paint, he is making a picture that he can be proud to call his own. Doing your job the best you know how is part of being a good citizen at school. Jane is making a book cover out of her last week's finger painting. She made it especially for her speller, and the new cover not only looks gay and pretty, it keeps the book neat and clean. Uh-oh, someone missed the wastebasket. Tossing old papers without watching where they fall is a careless habit. That's better, Jimmy. Picking up papers that lie on the floor, even though they were dropped there by someone else, is a better habit for everyone to practice. Being careful and neat is part of being a good citizen. When lunchtime nears, the children in Miss Hill's room put away their books carefully and line up at the door. They know that shoving and pushing and changing places won't get them to their lunch any quicker, and besides, it's bad manners. Outside, it's best to walk to the lunch table and to look the same way you are going. When you play with the big ball, be sure no one is in front of you when you throw it. Thinking about the other fellow, what might happen if, is called playing safe. Playing any other game. And the prize for winning is not getting hurt. Helping to keep your school a safe place is an important part of being a good citizen. Dick sits in front of Fred, and not only doesn't do his work, but bothers behind him. When you destroy something that belongs to another person, he must buy another to take its place. When you destroy something that belongs to your school, the money to buy another must come from your parents. Being careful not to destroy what belongs to other people is part of being a good citizen. Sometimes the children of Miss Hill's room are doing different things. On one side, the boys and girls are going to read. They've taken the books from their desks quietly so they won't disturb the others. The children in the middle of the room are working their arithmetic problems. They keep quiet too, so the others can work. On the other side of the room, the children are studying spelling words for tomorrow's lesson. They do it by themselves, for talking to a neighbor sadly so as not to disturb others and minding your own business instead of the other fellows is... Teresa came to Grovedale last year from Italy. Most of the children in Teresa's room didn't pay much attention to her because they thought she sounded funny when she spoke. Last week, the children put on a festival, and Teresa's folk dancing. Oh. Her mother made a lot of good Italian cookies and candy, too, and brought them to the school. She told the children how people live and eat and play in the far-off land of Italy. Now, every boy and girl in Miss Hill's room are to be his special friend, and they're having a lot of fun with their new pal. Looking for the best things about everyone and helping them get along with the whole group is one of the most important ways to be a good citizen at...
Let's talk about what we have here in the United States, what makes it tick, and what we want to do with it. Let's start with you and what you want. What does anybody want? Do you think you're different from other people? Millions have worshipped the strong man, the leader. Millions let somebody else decide what they want. They worked, fought, died for government by strong men, by fear, by force.
Und damit unser deutscher Volk und Vaterland.
Yeah, the dictator. No, not everybody agrees. Over here, we don't like dictators. We don't worship the strong man. We worship as we please. Our government represents us, the people. Our government is our servant, not our master. We can work, we can fight too, that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. That's what Lincoln said. Not that everybody agreed even then. Lincoln was shot, remember? Any government has a lot of power, but keep in mind that the power can come from the top down or from the bottom up. And it makes a lot of difference to you, what you can do and what you can't do, where and how you live and work. Let's start from there, where we live and work. What we have in the United States. 1 worker out of 5 lives close to the land on our 6 million farms and ranches. Look them over. Big ones, little ones, all kinds. 4 workers out of 5 work away from the land in almost 4 million other places. Big plants, small plants, peanut stands, offices. Altogether, that makes about 10 million places where we can work and make a living. How we work and how we live makes all the difference in what we have in the United States. But how did we get what we have? Suppose just for a moment that we didn't have our 6 million farms and ranches. Let's get rid of them, all of them. Okay, no more farms or ranches. Now, let's get rid of industry too. Then we won't have to worry about that. Fine, no more industry, No more places to work. While we're at it, let's go all the way. Let's wipe out all cities, towns, homes, everything. Now what? Well, now we're starting the hard way, close to old Mother Nature. You and everybody else on Earth have some things in common. You want to stay alive. To stay alive, you have to have food. You have to have some shelter against the elements. You want to be as comfortable as you can. So let's start with this common problem and see what it takes.
What are we going to do?
Better find somewhere to go. Going to be a storm any minute. Give me the baby. Come on.
Well, it's better than nothing, I guess. I'll take it easy, honey.
It's so cold. Could you build a fire, Tom?
Sure. Gee, I don't seem to have any matches. Don't worry, we'll work out something. Looks like this might blow over. You stay here. I'll go out and see what I can find.
Don't go far, Tom. There, darling. I know you're hungry.
How long do you think she can feed that baby unless she gets some food herself? Not long. How long could you stay alive dumped into a real wilderness? Most people would starve to death. And yet, it's funny, isn't it? It's all there. Sun, air, soil, water, minerals, metals. It's all right there. But how to get at it? Let's say you're lucky to start with. You find some water so you won't die of thirst.
No, but I need food.
Food, shelter, and comfort.
Food, yeah. I'm all right on that other stuff.
You are now. But where are you going to get another shirt when that one wears out?
Well, I don't know. But I'm not going to worry about that now.
When the snow starts to fly, you'll worry about it?
Plenty. I'm going to have a look around.
Tom has what any man has to work with, his brains and his muscles. So he goes to work with what he has. Put yourself in his place. Let's say you're lucky. You find some roots you can eat. You find some berries. A couple of days go by and you're still alive, but it's a full-time job. Let's say you're very lucky. You find some fish just when they're spawning. They're helpless. Now, this probably wouldn't happen to you, but let's make it easy. Let's say you get a couple of fish the way a bear does.
Midge! Look what I got.
Oh,
I just flipped them out.
I'm so hungry I could almost eat them raw.
I don't know. Want to try?
I can't. I can't.
Gee, if we just had a knife. Hey, isn't that smoke?
Oh, Tom.
Sure it's smoke. There must be somebody over there. Wait here, I'll go and see.
Where'd you come from?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
You got a fire. I wanted a fire, but I didn't have any matches. How'd you do it?
It took me long enough to get going. I've been trying to do this ever since I found myself here. I started like this. See? Then I took my shoelace and did it this way.
Gee, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And that knife. Where'd you get it?
I found the antler. I made it by rubbing it against the rocks.
Say, How about letting me use it?
Ah, wait a minute. What do you want it for? You got some food?
My wife and baby are just down the valley. We've been living on roots and things, but I got a couple fish.
You have? How big?
Oh, about like that. Nice ones.
Man, I'm so hungry I can hardly stand it. I've been working against time. I got a weak stomach and I figured I can't eat stuff raw. Look, let me buy one of those fish.
What with?
What do you think? Oh, well, I guess I haven't got any money.
What would I do with money around here?
Well, nothing, I guess. Look, let's put it this way. You give me a fish, I'll let you use my knife and cook on my fire. How's that?
Wait a minute. Maybe I'll never find another fish.
Listen, I gotta get something to eat. I'm so hungry, I'm sick, I've been working. Where are they? Back with your wife?
Don't get any ideas.
I offered you a fair swap.
Give me that knife.
I'll give it to you right in the belly.
Stop it! You'll kill each other! What's come over you, Tom? Rude men acting like savage!
Tom's fighting for his life. So is the other man. Let's go back and see what this is all about. If you were thrown into a wilderness without a match or a knife or any tool, you'd be right smack up against nature. You'd be just the same muscles, the same brains, and without tools, you might stay alive for a while. You might find some kind of shelter. You'd have to have food and shelter, and you'd want some comforts. To improve your situation, you'd have to take time out to make some tools. You can't be looking for food and make a knife at the same time. It takes work and time to get fire or any other tool. Incidentally, from now on, when we talk about tools, we mean anything that helps you get more food or shelter or comforts and helps you get them more easily. Getting food or shelter is a matter of life and death. And once you get something, and somebody else has something, you come up against the idea of swapping, of barter.
Why can't we swap? One fish for the use of my knife and my fire.
Well, what's wrong with that?
I'd like to keep both fish. I need that knife and the fire. Okay, it's a deal.
Life depends on food. And to fill your stomach, to put a shirt on your back or some kind of a roof over your head, there are only 3 things to work with: natural resources, your human energy, and tools. That's true anywhere, any place, anytime. Let's bring this out in another way. Everything in nature was here long ago. All the coal, the iron, the forests, the oil, the water, the land. Why didn't the Indians do more with it? The Indians had to have food, shelter, comforts. Why didn't they raise better food, build better homes? Why didn't the Indians do more with all this? They had some tools. They knew how to make fire. They used fire to clear land. When the growth was burnt off, the Indian women planted corn like this, with a clam shell and a hoe made from the shoulder blade of a deer. Yes, they had tools, Stone Age tools, but they never improved their tools. And as a result, they couldn't improve their production of food, shelter, and comforts. Compare this with the pioneer farmers. Crude as the early wooden plows were, they worked better than animal bones or clamshells. Yes, they had tools, but the important thing is they improved their tools. They shod them with iron, and now we make them from steel. Powerful tractors pull them down the fields. If this farmer had lived when the country was young, it would have taken 9 farmers like him to free 1 man from the land. With a better use of brains and muscles, better use of nature,
and above all, with more and better tools, the modern farmer can free 15 or 20 men from the land. That's a pretty good example of what we have. Something happened in this country to produce a titanic upsurge in human energy and spirit, to produce more and better tools, to produce more and better food, shelter, and comforts. What was it? What helped us get what we have? Let's start at the beginning. The founders of the country didn't have tractors or television sets or automobiles, but they did have a mighty faith in God and a big revolutionary idea about people. They thought governments ought to be the servant, not the master of ordinary people like you and me. Have you ever read the Declaration of Independence? Men risked their lives for the principle that in this country, at least, we the people take our rights from God and set up a government to preserve and protect our individual rights. Think that over. The signers of the Declaration of Independence declared their belief that we are endowed by our Creator with rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which nobody, no person, no group, no political party, not even our government, can take away from us. This farmer has certain unalienable rights, responsibilities, and obligations, which are his birthright under the law. This worker has the same rights, responsibilities, and obligations, which are his birthright under the law. These workers can challenge their government, which is ordered to protect their rights. And these aren't idle words. On July 4th, 1776, we declared our independence. In 1788, we ratified our Constitution. And to this day, every officer, law, and division of American government has existed solely for the purpose of protecting our unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. When you read the Constitution of the United States, notice it starts off with, "We, the people," and it's the oldest instrument of government in continuous use. Our government is divided into two parts, state and federal. And each part is subdivided into legislative, executive, and judiciary. Each branch independent, but a limitation on the others. This was not done for efficiency. It was done deliberately to keep anybody or anything from taking away our individual freedom. Now, let's look at the map. The federal government was to handle the national problems. The united but individual states were to handle their own problems, just as each county, city, town, and village was to handle its local problems. Problems like fire protection, police protection, protection of the streets and highways, protection and development of citizenship through public education. Things like this are the concern of state and local government. We, the people, have given our federal, state, and local governments a limited power, but we have ordered them, remember, to use that power to protect our individual freedoms. Our rights are only limited when it's for the public good. Like when you're driving along a public street. Traffic changes. You stop. You don't even think about it. But you stopped because we gave government, represented by the police officer, the right to make a stop to let the other people go through. Then, when you get the signal, it's your turn to go ahead. Limitations of our rights? Sure, but for the public good. And that's the way our country has gone ahead. Just what does liberty or individual freedom mean to you? Freedom to do what? There's New York. Just what freedoms do the people down there have? And what difference does it make? How about San Francisco? Chicago. Is life in Chicago any different from life in Moscow, Shanghai, Paris, or any other city? Is this any different from a town of the same size in some other part of the world? There's a great difference, and it starts with the great gift of freedom. Here's a farm. 2 out of 3 farms like this are run by their owners. In other words, here's what we mean by freedom. Farmers are free to save, free to invest their savings, to buy and own their own farm, their own tools, their own stock, free to produce, to make a profit or a loss. It takes time, takes work, takes management, takes saving, takes careful buying and selling. It took this farmer 20 years to build up this herd, but it was worth the effort. Nobody can fool this man about what it means to own your own farm or to build your own herd. He knows where his tools came from and what a difference they make. He started out milking by hand. Now he does it this way and doesn't have to work so hard. And he produces more and better milk and cream. He gets more out of it. And so do all the rest of us. Don't sell freedom short. Freedom to work, to grow things, to make things. Freedom to buy and sell. Freedom to save and invest. We have these great freedoms in this country. You have them. In the United States today, as you may know, we live on about 1/16 of the land area of the world. For every square mile we have, others have 15. For every worker we have, others have about 15. As far as nature and manpower go, the odds against us are about 15 to 1. Let's get this straight. All around the world, men want the same things: food, shelter, and comforts. And naturally, selfishly, want all they can get. You do. I do. Everybody has this in common. All of us must use what we can find in nature, our own manpower, and the tremendously productive power of tools. Yet in our 10 million workplaces, with odds of 15 to 1 against us, we have half the productive power on Earth. That didn't just happen. There's a good reason why we have the best workers, the best tools on Earth. Why we're about 8 to 1 better off than the rest of the whole world. How do you think this came to be? What makes us tick? Let's talk about how we got what we have in these United States and what it means to you.
Jefferson, Mr. Edmund Wright, Jr. to see you, sir.
Thank you, Charles. Send him in, please. Mr. Jefferson?
Oh, yes, of course.
I am Edmund Wright, Jr., publisher of the Independent Chronicle and Boston Patriot.
The Independent Chronicle?
And Boston Patriot. The papers merged 8 years ago.
Your paper has a fine reputation in the Republican press, Mr. Wright. I can remember when John Hancock and Samuel Adams contributed to the Independent Chronicle in 1776. But then that was a little before your time.
Oh, yes, I'm afraid so.
Oh, John Adams and I are the only founding fathers left. I was writing him just now, as a matter of fact.
Oh, I hope I'm not disturbing you. I can come back later on.
Oh, that's nonsense. Adams writes me so often I can't begin to keep up with him.
Well, it is indeed an honor to meet you in person, Mr. Jefferson. I was thinking it would be unique to come here and visit you, and then to take back to my paper your personal story, this being the 50th anniversary of the birth of this great country.
Yes, that is a rather novel idea.
But I never dreamed Monticello to be so large. You built it yourself, didn't you, Mr. Jefferson?
Yes, and the building is still going on. It's a lifelong passion of mine. I can remember being told I was crazy for building so near the summit. But then I wanted the view and the feeling of wilderness from up here.
It is spectacular. And this library of yours is so extensive.
Yes, it's my third library.
Really, I had no idea.
I sold my last collection of books to the government to form the main body of the Library of Congress.
Well, that is wonderful.
I can still remember the first library I studied in, that of the Reverend James Maury. I was 15 at the time. His library of 400 books was the most I'd ever seen in one place. My school chums used to tease me because I always had a book in my hand. But then, as I've always said, Mr. Wright, knowledge is power.
It most certainly is.
Is there anything in particular that your paper would like to know about me?
Well, there are a few notes that my editor and I put together before I left. Would you mind?
Yes, of course. You've come a long way.
Well, let's see. Ah, yes. How did you get so heavily involved in politics?
Well, I suppose it was an outgrowth of my education. You see, I studied law at William and Mary at Williamsburg. My association with the aristocracy there led to my first appointment with the colonial legislature. And then I wrote my first major essay entitled... It's been a long while, Mr. Wright. Oh, yes. A summary view of the rights of British America. It proved I had pretty good logic and writing ability. So when delegates were selected to represent Virginia in the Second Continental Congress, I was elected to go.
And that's what this Jubilee year is all about. 50 years ago, you wrote the Declaration of Independence. You couldn't have been very old.
No, as a matter of fact, I was one of the youngest members of the Congress. Only 32 years old.
That is remarkable. Would you mind telling me how it all happened?
Well, a committee was appointed with 5 men. Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, Robert Livingston, Roger Sherman, and I served as chairman. When I asked John Adams to write the document, he refused, saying I could write much better than he, so I consented. Adams and Franklin made only a few edits. But Congress made several changes. I squirmed under the ordeal, and I remember Franklin saying he made it a rule whenever in his power to avoid becoming the draftsman of papers to be reviewed by a public body. But the document survived. And on the evening of July 4th in 1776, the Declaration of Independence was adopted and signed.
And what an impact it's had. The document is truly a monument to human liberty.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Did you use any sources when writing it?
Well, the ideas of the Declaration of Independence were not necessarily new ideas or original. I felt it my responsibility to write an expression of the American mind, to give it the proper tone and spirit called for by the occasion. The thing unique about the situation was that this was the first time such ideas set forth in a document were to be acted upon by an entire nation.
What did you do during the Revolution?
While Washington was fighting on the battlefield, I was fighting for freedom in another way. Instead of artillery, I used the pen as my ammunition. Let me show you something. In October of 1776, I returned to the Virginia legislature and started a comprehensive reform of all of its laws and institutions. My bill for land distribution discouraged property from falling into the hands of a few aristocrats. The educational system I proposed created lower schools, providing education for the entire population. And then I wrote a law for religious freedom, allowing separation of church and state, giving man his freedom of religion without fear of persecution.
But you certainly aren't an atheist, are you, Mr. Jefferson?
On the contrary, Mr. Wright, I'm a student of the Scriptures. I've even written an analysis of the Bible.
You're a man of many talents and interests, Mr. Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
What did you do after independence was won?
I represented our country in France. After I was there for several months, I replaced Benjamin Franklin as United States Minister to France. Our life in the French society was very enjoyable. But it was difficult for me to understand how so good a people, with so good a king, could create a government causing so much human misery. The climate of revolt was in the air. But the French Revolution would turn out to be much different than the American Revolution. I returned home to a country with a new constitution and a new president. George Washington asked me to be in his cabinet, and I served as Secretary of State. There were no political parties at the time, and President Washington wanted to include all opinions in his cabinet. But unfortunately, Alexander Hamilton, who was Secretary of the Treasury, didn't agree with me on a single issue.
How soon did you realize that you and Hamilton couldn't work together?
Very soon. I didn't trust Hamilton or the Federalists. I believed he wanted to create a government that would favor the rich.
The Federalists accused you of favoring the French.
When the Federalists under President Adams threatened to go to war against France, I opposed them. And then I believed some of the measures they had adopted, such as the Alien and Sedition Acts, threatened America's basic liberties. So I was pleased when my friends formed the second party, the Republicans, and asked me to be their candidate for president.
What do you consider to be your greatest accomplishment as president?
Probably the purchase of the Louisiana Territory from France in 1803. This would make land available to farmers for generations to come. I was anxious to find out about the land that would double the size of the country, so I immediately sent out the exploration party of Lewis and Clark. They returned with stories and artifacts that proved to me that this land is as fantastic as I imagined. It is my hope that this nation will continue to expand, creating an empire of more free and equal states until it shall fill the entire continent.
Do you think all men will ever be free and equal? What about the Negro, Mr. Jefferson? Many people in the North are upset about slavery. During the Revolution, you were an eloquent spokesman for abolishing slavery. And in the 1780s, you helped keep it out of the Northwest. But lately, you seem to support its extension across the Mississippi.
I wish I had an answer for you. But I don't. I do think slavery is wrong. And as president, I helped to outlaw the slave trade. But I could not continue to live here at Monticello without slaves. And I find it difficult to see how the black man can fit into our society. I continue to hope that future generations will find a way to end slavery. But in my old age, I have decided to work on a project I could do something about. So for the past several years, I've been working to build a university.
Is it that handsome structure I saw on the way here?
It most certainly is. The University of Virginia has become a reality. It has always been my theory that we must qualify the citizens to understand their rights and maintain them. If a nation expects to be ignorant and to be free also, it expects what never was and never will be. You know, Mr. Wright, I think we will yet form an aristocracy of talents. Would you care to go riding with me? Get a closer view of the campus?
Well, I don't know.
Well, you look as if you could use a bit of exercise, Mr. Wright. I go riding every day now. On our way down the mountain, I can show you some of my experimentations in the field. A scientific new method of crop rotation.
Well, that will be interesting.
And when we return, I will show you a few of my household inventions.
That will be splendid.
Your readers in Boston will get a view of Thomas Jefferson they've never known before.
Все Америки папиросы, они очень хорошие.
Speak English, comrade. Remember, it is about the only freedom you do not have in this town. It's American town.
Americans, they have too many freedoms.
That is another thing you must remember, comrade. For one day it will be your mission to destroy those bourgeois capitalist freedoms.
Frightening, isn't it? From all appearances, this community could be in Iowa, California, or Tennessee. It looks like an American town. As American as apple pie and ice cream. As a matter of fact, you can find apple pie here and ice cream too. But appearances are deceptive. This is not an American town. However, it may be assumed that such a town does exist, shrouded in secrecy and protected by utmost security, deep behind the Iron Curtain. You might call this a college town, communist style, as part of a long-range plan to destroy our free way of life. These young communists are studying the economic, political, and religious institutions that are the very heartbeat of America. The courses here in this strangest of all schools: espionage as a science, propaganda as an art, sabotage as a business. This nameless American city, deep in the vastness of the Soviet Union, it stands as a symbol of Russian treachery, of long-range communist conspiracy. This town may appear to be an accurate likeness of a typical American community, but it's a fraud. It isn't free. Now, let's take a look at a genuine American town and a genuine American. I want you to meet Jerry Donovan. He's proud of his country, but prone to take his liberties for granted. Oh, he's aware that someone must assume responsibility for those liberties, for our free way of life. Yet, when there's a job to be done, Jerry, like so many Americans, is apt to ask, why me?
Anybody home? Well, hi there, partners. What? Hey, what is this?
You bad guy, take away our lead.
What?
He's on the warpath. You better send for the cavalry. Take him prisoner. Tie him up on Hill of Red Ants.
Oh, now, wait a minute. I don't happen to like ants.
You sit on Ant Hill.
Now, you got this all wrong. You see, I happen to be a good guy.
Sit.
Yes, sir.
Hey, where are you going? Get him honey. Ants love honey.
Oh, now, just
All right,
a minute.
Indians, time to wash up. Dinner's almost ready. Right now. Dessert in the wigwam later.
Oh, God!
Well, you saved me from a fate worse than death.
Oh?
How come we're even been so ordinary?
Well, don't you remember you have a union committee meeting tonight? I just want to make sure you could make it.
They don't expect me. I told them that your folks were coming here for dinner tonight.
Oh, honey, Mom and Dad aren't due in for another week yet. Now you have plenty of time for the meeting, right?
Helen, you don't understand. I knew that your folks weren't going to be here tonight.
You knew? Well, then why all the
I
nonsense?
just told that to the fellas to keep from going tonight.
Oh.
Besides, my favorite TV show is on. You wouldn't want me to miss that, would you? Would you?
Well, Jerry, you missed the last meeting. Don't you think you should be there?
Honey, nothing ever happens at those meetings. Just a bunch of guys sitting around listening to themselves talk. Now, the important thing that really has me worried is what's for dinner tonight, stew or hamburger?
Ha, ha, ha. There.
Oh, boy.
You like that?
That smells good.
I thought so. Jerry, would you say that I was a nag?
Oh, no more than average.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to be just this once.
Why?
Well, this morning you told me that you wouldn't be able to make the PTA meeting next Wednesday, right?
That is right. Old Mrs. Potter reminds me of a lovesick hippo. Besides, Wednesday's my bowling night.
Oh, Jerry, can't you think of anything besides bowling and television?
Well, the way you talk about that PTA, you'd think it was some kind of a hush-hush government meeting to determine the future of the nation. They can struggle along without me.
Well, what about Jimmy's father-son banquet tomorrow night? He's been counting on that for weeks, you know that.
Well, now that is different. Wouldn't miss that for the whole world. Besides, I wrote my speech already.
Oh?
Yeah, I've been rehearsing it all week. Listen to this. Members of Troop 28 are gathered here tonight to discuss the ways and means of finding homes for Trooper Ryan's 6 new collie pups. How's that sound?
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
No, I can hear them applauding already.
Well,
no,
thank
listen, just one more question. Just one. What about your reserve meeting, your next one? You missed the last one, and you missed the one. Well, honey, you
did.
did.
All of those. All right, I'll tell you what. I will talk to my secretary in the morning and find out if my schedule will permit me to go to the next one. Would you quit bugging me?
Bill Martin's here. I asked him to stay for dinner.
Hey, that's good. I wanted to talk to Bill about how his team can beat state this year.
Again?
Well, he didn't listen to me last time. Now, Bill, the list of play you've got to watch out for. Now, their quarterback takes the snapback. Right. He hands off to the left half, who goes wide.
Hey, Mom. Linda's putting coffee on her strawberry. Linda put coffee on a strawberry.
All right. You finished your dinner now. You can be excused.
Night, Daddy.
Good night, beautiful.
Listen, you please up, will you?
Night, Daddy.
Good night, Jimmy.
Night.
You be a good boy.
Coffee on the strawberry? Oh, well, I never thought.
Hey, go to bed.
Is there something on your mind?
How can you tell?
Want to break up the huddle?
Now, Bill, this is a play you've really got to look out for.
Off time. Put up. Linda?
Well? Our ages and... Oh, Daddy, Mother, we want to get married. I'm sorry to spring it on you so suddenly, Mother. I suppose it came as an awful surprise when...
Really, sweetheart. Congratulations, Bill, and I might add, you're a very lucky young man.
Thank you.
Daddy?
Well, if everybody's through kissing each other, I think there are a few things we ought to iron out. Now, don't get me wrong. Bill, I like you, you know that. I'm not against the marriage. Matter of fact, I think it'd be a fine idea. 4 or 5 years.
In 4 or 5 years?
You're both too young to get married right now.
Mr. Donovan, I'm going to marry your daughter. And I'm not going to wait 4 or 5 years to do it. Thanks for dinner. I'll talk to you later.
Good night, Bill.
Bill!
Linda.
Honey, now let them go. Sweet dreams.
Picture of an American retiring for the night, going to bed in comfort, without worries or problems. Well, almost without problems. Linda and Bill may mean momentary worry, but in America there's always tomorrow, with its bright promise. And problems will work out. Somehow things always work out. Now, in a few minutes, Jerry Donovan will be asleep. But tonight, instead of the sweet dreams his wife wished him, let's give Jerry a nightmare, a real red nightmare. Now, you remember that Russian town we saw earlier? The town that looked like it belonged in Kansas or Ohio or Vermont? Let's lift that town out of the Soviet Union. Let's superimpose it on Jerry's hometown. And those precious freedoms Jerry so complacently accepts. Let's see how many freedoms Jerry might lose if suddenly he had to live under communist domination.
Charlie, will you hurry up with the coffee?
All right. I've only got one pair of hands.
Jerry's a little confused. Things seem different now, and they should, because freedom has suddenly vanished.
Your permit number, please.
Permit number? Operator, I don't have a permit. I just want to call my house. I want to talk to my wife.
No personal calls are allowed without a permit from the commissar. You will get off the line, please.
But operator...
Say what gives. Come along, comrade.
Now that you've become acquainted with the enlightened communist system, in contrast to the outdated capitalistic way of life, you are now prepared for the next step of your indoctrination, which will be most difficult. When the moral fiber of the United States weakens and the economy collapses under the pressure of competitive coexistence, you will assume control. You will move into every phase of American political and economic life. It will be your responsibility, comrades, to purge the minds of the reactionary Americans so that they will welcome the enlightened Soviet system and conform without resistance to the dictatorship of the proletariat. Again, my congratulations, comrades. Continue the good work.
Say, could you tell me what...
Yes, comrade.
Nothing, never mind. Thank God you're all right.
I have something to do.
Gee, Helen, I'm sorry I'm late. Something strange happened. Something very strange. I was standing in the plaza...
Never mind that. But you are disturbing the children. Their meals are to be consumed without interruption.
I don't blame you for being sore, but I'll make it up to you. Tomorrow night we'll have an early dinner at the steakhouse. Then we'll take the kids to the drive-in movie.
That would be quite impossible. Tomorrow night you've been selected to address the Parent-Teachers Committee.
The what? Oh, no, there must be some mistake. They don't want me. What would I talk about? How Jimmy's team lost the Little League championship last year?
The subject of your address has already been selected for you. The theme will be how the new communistic life benefits children.
Now, wait a minute. What if I don't want to talk about that? What if I don't want to talk at all?
I would advise you not to object. Recently, the party learned that you were on the debate team while in school. They were very disturbed that you kept this fact a secret from them. Experienced speakers are needed by the party. They'll make very good use of you.
Sergeant, check the kitchen. You look in the back. I'll be upstairs.
Hey! What is this? Where do you think you're going?
We have no time for explanations. Already we are 15 minutes behind schedule.
I don't care who sent your why. But you're not going to take another step until I see your warrant.
Warrant? We need no warrant. As a member of the Young Communist League, your daughter has volunteered for farm work. She's to be transported immediately. The truck is waiting outside.
Now, wait a minute. Let me get something straight. You say my daughter volunteered?
That is correct. Here's the signature. Requesting transport to the People's Collective.
Signature on that piece of paper is false. And everything you've said is a lie because my daughter would never leave here of her own free will.
Sergeant!
You've got no right to be in this house. I'm going to give you just 10 seconds to get out of here.
Daddy? It's true, Daddy. I did volunteer for farm work.
Linda, why?
The party convinced me that I should free myself of the lingering bourgeois influence of family life. I am ready.
Do not interfere. It is for my own good.
And Comrade Donovan, do not think that your deviationist remarks shall be overlooked. They will be reported to the proper authorities. Hey, what's this quarter business? That's today's work, comrade.
Hello, Pete. Having a little trouble. Bertha doesn't seem to be in a working mood.
The late must be fixed immediately. You have a quota to fulfill. If you fail, we'll all be held responsible.
I'm doing the best I can. Quota or no quota, I can't do anything till I get this fixed.
Well, then I advise you work during your lunch hour. The quota must be met, and Comrade Commissar isn't interested in excuses.
Yeah, I overslept. The kids get off to Sunday school all right? Oh, it's a beautiful day. As they get back from Sunday school, why don't we all pile into the car and go over... Hey, what is this? Someone going on a trip?
You could call it a trip. Actually, the children are going away to a state school.
Now, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. I don't know what's happened to you or what they've done to change you, but you're not going to send these kids away.
Oh, she's not sending us away. It was our idea. We learned in school that home life does not encourage the growth of the collective character which the party wishes to develop in its young people. It's your fault. You should have spent more time training him to think along party lines. As a member of the Young Pioneers, it will be my duty to report you.
You better listen to me. All of you. I don't want to hear any more talk about state schools and party lines and collective character and deviationism. This is going to be a family again, and I know just where to start. You two are going to Sunday school, and you're going right now.
Mommy, tell her!
No use to argue.
Mom!
This time, I'm going to overrule the party. Come on.
Dad!
They've been poisoning you kids with those lies long enough. Now you're really going to find out what the truth is all about.
We tried to tell you, Dad, but you wouldn't listen. There is no more Sunday school. Please take us home now, Daddy. Everybody's looking at us.
It's a mistake. Somebody made a big mistake. Come on, we're going to get this straightened out right now. Come on. Come on inside. Come on, Jimmy. What's happened? What have they done? Keep your voice down, comrade. Otherwise, I shall have to report you. Who put these displays in here? This is a house of worship. You are mistaken. This is the People's Museum. And I warn you once more. This place is a lie. Everything about it is false. This was not invented by a Russian. The man's name was Bell, Alexander Graham Bell. And he was an American. Get that, comrade. Everything on this table is as phony as the town. The rotten system you call communism.
Comrade Donovan, you are accused of the following crimes against the state: subversion, deviationism, and treason. You've been given this opportunity to make a public confession of your treacherous violation.
Just a minute. This is supposed to be a trial. Who says I'm guilty of anything? Where's your proof?
The state needs no proof. It is up to you to prove your innocence.
How can I prove my innocence if I don't know what I'm accused of? Subversion against whom? Deviationism from what? Treason against what government?
The prisoner has been given his opportunity to confess. I ask now that he be sentenced.
Now, wait a minute. You've got to listen to me. They say I'm guilty of crimes against the state, but it's the state that committed the crimes. They broke into my home without a warrant. Armed soldiers. They took away my daughter. They desecrated a house of worship and replaced religious objects with phony displays, and they called it a museum. They even tried to turn my own kids against me. My wife. Helen, you were there. You know that what I'm saying is true. Tell them.
Mrs. Donovan, this document contains your signed statement. It proves that your husband tried to turn your children against the communist state. Is the statement true?
Yes.
Helen. Lieutenant Martin, Comrade Kucheznov, Comrade Malenko. These documents contain your signed statements. They prove that Comrade Donovan is guilty of deviationism and treason. I want you to tell the court if these statements are correct. I will ask you each in turn. Comrade Kucheznov.
Yes, the statement is true.
Comrade Malenko.
True.
Lieutenant.
The statement's true.
There's no need to continue this trial. The evidence against the prisoner is overwhelming. I ask now that he be sentenced immediately.
I want to see those statements. And maybe I'll have a few words to say in my own defense.
The prisoner will step back into the box. There is no need to examine the statements of the witnesses. The prisoner stands condemned by his own words. He has challenged the supreme authority of the state. He has questioned its practices and its decisions. And by these actions, he has proved himself to be a dangerous enemy to the proletariat. And he must be treated as such, as an ugly remnant of a diseased bourgeois class. He must be eradicated before the contagion can spread. Comrade Donovan, you are hereby sentenced to be shot. Comrade Donovan.
Comrade Donovan, do you know why you're here? I can guess. Do you have any last requests?
Yes. We really need these? I don't think I'll be going anywhere.
Nevertheless, I'm afraid they're necessary. Comrade Donovan, you've been convicted of crimes against the supreme communist government. Being an enemy of the state, you must be liquidated. I have been commissioned to carry out your sentence.
What, no firing squad?
I'm afraid not. However, as a last favor from the government, you are hereby granted one final chance to confess your crimes. If you wish, a recorder will be summoned to take down your statement.
I have a statement to make, all right, but you can deliver it. You just tell your government that someday its own people are going to get wise to it. Someday there's going to be enough holes in that iron curtain that all of your people will be able to escape to freedom. You'll never be able to build a wall strong enough to hold them. One of my own countrymen once said, you can't fool all of the people all of the time. Believe me, you communists can't keep fooling the entire world. You can't even keep fooling your own people. Because the news about communism is getting around. That it's only another word for slavery.
Don't worry, Jerry. That bullet will never reach you. Because it's time to bring you back from your red nightmare. What you have seen is not entirely fiction. Greater brutality is taking place right now in countries which have been swallowed up by the communist machine. We know that. Jerry is waking. Let's see if his dream has impressed him.
Helen?
Yes, darling.
Helen?
Honey, the kids polished off the eggs. Would you mind cereal?
Cereal will be fine, just fine.
I'll get it. Just
Good morning.
What?
He's gone from wide open spaces to outer space.
Oh, he is he? Yeah, I guess we can put you in orbit all right. You get a space helmet.
Hey, Mom! Mom!
Hello there.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Mr. Donovan. Bill? If you two kids don't have this car in shape by now, I don't think you ever will. Well, if you'd like to talk some more about that marriage business, you better catch me while I'm in a good mood.
Oh, Daddy. We've got something to tell you.
Now, you haven't run off. No, that we haven't done. But we have decided to wait. Not 5 years, mind you. But at least I've finished my hitch in the service.
That's a wise decision, Bill. Yes, indeed. I think that's a very wise decision. How about some breakfast?
Good idea.
Gary knows now, so he'll never forget it. Responsibilities are a privilege, an inherent American right, the strength of our nation. The bright hopes of a free world are founded on the dedication of individual Americans, people who guarantee freedom by standing ready to fight against aggression, against the communist attempts at world enslavement. Freedom is not hereditary. It must be earned. Freedom has a price, and its price is vigilance. Its price is responsibility, not only of government, but of every citizen who salutes our flag. Those who serve as a part of our nation's armed might, and those who have served, they guarantee freedom's continued existence. Freedom. No single word in all the languages of mankind has come to mean so much. Freedom to enjoy the simple things of life in the circle of family and friends. Freedom to work at a vocation of our choosing. To vote in open elections for the candidate we believe best qualified. To come, to go as we please. Freedom to own property. To enjoy the priceless heritage of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. To marry and raise a family with belief in the dignity of the human spirit. To study in the field of our choice. To speak our beliefs. To worship God. These freedoms that spell America. They represent a way of life that has become the farthest advancement of mankind on this planet. To prevent communism from consuming the entire free world, there stands but one man. That man is you.
Colonel, may we have a few words with you?
Certainly. I've been expecting you.
I thought you interceptor men were always in a hurry.
Well, we can move pretty fast when we scramble to intercept unidentified aircraft.
I see what you mean.
Yes, we move fast on intercept missions. But today, Major Conroy and I have a very special mission.
What is that, sir?
Today, we're going to demonstrate and explain sonic boom from the cockpit of a supersonic aircraft, one that flies faster than the speed of sound and is designed to help us defend ourselves against other planes that fly faster than sound. Sonic boom is a very serious problem to the Air Force because it concerns people all over the United States. Major Conroy's mission will take him over least populated areas. Sonic boom is caused by an aircraft flying faster than the speed of sound. It is not, as many believe, the sound the plane makes the instant it breaks the so-called sound barrier. Soon after Major Conroy reaches 35,000 feet, he will exceed the speed of sound. He should be there now. Let's check on it. Come in, Major Conroy.
Roger, I'm at 35,000 feet. Leveling off. Now that we're more than 6 miles up, we'll soon be going faster than sound. Supersonic flight is a matter of routine with this aircraft. Flight speeds like this produce a sonic boom, and there's nothing the pilot or anyone else can do about it. You won't notice any change. We can't hear the sonic boom because it's behind us. Listen. Now we're flying faster than Mach 1. Faster than sound.
Yes, Major, no change in the cockpit. But down below, it's an entirely different matter. In peacetime, the thunder-like sonic boom is almost always unexpected, for it comes without warning. The plane that causes the boom is probably flying straight and level beyond your range of vision, beyond the sound of its engine. So the sonic boom is indeed a noisy nuisance, a necessary nuisance, for just as truly, sonic boom is the sound of security. The Air Force shares with other services the tremendous task of providing protection for this nation against supersonic air attack. The Navy and the Air Force must operate many types of supersonic aircraft, both interceptors and bombers, such as the 4-engine B-58s. Since ground noise of the jets is also objectionable, the services use several devices to reduce it. Flight regulation minimizes public disturbance by sonic boom. Everything that can be done is being done, short of jeopardizing the defense of the country.
Therefore, on training missions from this base, and since we're located near the ocean, you will not exceed Mach 1 until you are above 30,000 feet and well out over the water.
Of course, there is extra danger for these men in training over the ocean. In 40-degree water, life expectancy is only 2 hours. A 50% chance of death after 30 minutes. We on the ground can help the pilots who protect us by learning to live with sonic boom, just as the pilots and their families have learned to live on constant alert in defense of our country. When we know it's not an explosion, even though it sounds like an explosion, when we know it can't hurt us other than break a window now and then, when we learn to expect it, we can protect ourselves from fear, from the fear it engenders. To do this, we must, of course, know how aircraft cause the sudden explosive sounds called sonic boom. As a boat moving on the surface of the water causes waves to fan out in two directions, an aircraft in supersonic flight disturbs the air and also creates waves, pressure waves. But unlike the surface of the water, air is a three-dimensional medium, and the pressure waves spread out not only in two directions, but in great cones of disturbance that reach all the way to the ground. So when a plane is flying faster than sound, these waves of disturbed air, these pressure waves, travel across the ground and reach our ears as sudden explosive sounds. A 1,200-mile-an-hour interceptor flying high and level could create a boom that would startle the tens of millions of people along the eastern seaboard in a mere 10 minutes. Scientific research teams and industrial firms are working on the problem, but for the present we must realize that the sonic boom is unavoidable. Supersonic interceptors are frequently sent out to identify unknown aircraft day or night. Urgency requires the highest speed possible, the most direct routing, sometimes over cities. If our bombers are ever sent over enemy territory, they will go in, bomb their targets, and get out at the highest speeds possible. Our bomber crews must train today for this eventuality. Their training ground is the radar bomb scope, where friendly cities, industrial and military installations duplicate the probable radar returns from an enemy target. We have many types of supersonic aircraft now and more to come. And fortunately, we have the men with the courage and the cautious judgment it takes to fly these fabulous machines of our defense. When you hear a sonic boom, remember, it's the sound of these airmen ready to shield you from aggression. Noisy nuisance that it is, sonic boom is truly the sound of security.